This is OS2 Warp version 4.5.2. Now guys, believe it or not, this has been a operating system developed jointly by Microsoft with IBM at some point, and the history behind OS2 is just so great. Like until 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, all the releases, just insane stories. If you want to get a bit more information, there are tons of videos you can scrap over the internet, in YouTube specifically, the rise and the downfall of OS2, and a lot of nice information if you just want to understand why at the end OS2 just stopped existing. But yeah, even right now to this day, there are some builds around. Some people, some enthusiasts, really people working for OS2 are still putting a lot of work. In this video today, I want to show you around. The build that I'm using today is so full of things, packages, add-ons. Really a great build. If you want to try it out, just let me know. I remember touching OS2 back in the days, of course not on my machines. For me it was at some point DOS and Windows, sadly. Nevertheless, this was a thing back in the days, and today I just want to give you like a tour on how it looks like, because right now it's almost 2025. I'm shooting on the 31st of December, guys, and this thing is already from the late 80s to 95, so it's already like 30 years. So we just want to see what do we have inside, how does it look, and of course I will install some games, try to play. So the first thing we see here, this is the desktop. We have a lot of icons, by the way, and yeah, of course Netscape communicator was a thing. By the way, in this build that I'm using, network connectivity just works. So if you try to just browse simple things around, if I want to check some things here, it's going to work up to somewhere, because of course old browsers, no SSLs, so apparently you're not able to access modern things like YouTube, for example, and other stuff. But basic browsing works, and you can probably just go on the Webpack machine in Archive.org and try to open some things around. Even Archive.org, by the way, doesn't work, but okay, connectivity is here. This is kind of cool. So we do have here the OS2 system. When you click this, guys, you're gonna have this settings. Minimize Windows Viewer. If I open this, I can just check all the apps that I've opened. If I press Control and Escape, I have this list where I can just go and navigate through those apps. Like for example, boom, now I'm gonna get access to this. Now you can maximize the window, minimize it. You can also, of course, resize it. And you can, with this, minimize it if you want, right? So let's say now I wanna open it back, and this thing will kind of kill it. Let me show you something cool. I'm gonna press this button here. This whole thing is kind of the taskbar. I'm gonna get inside the file manager and open the file manager. All right, so remember I show you, we can maximize it, minimize it. There is something called I, and I kind of like it. See here, click this button to set the FM, the file managers, to window size, to the ideal size. So let's say that I've kind of resized this one, right? Now I can just click I, boom, it's going to just resize it to the ideal size. How good is this? Next, we have templates, all kind of things inside, bitmaps and music. Later on, I'm gonna show some of those things. The next thing is system setup. When you click this, you're gonna go inside a folder with a lot of things that you can set up. And you can also access this by just pressing the right button here on the desktop and click system setup. It's just gonna open the same thing. Here we have refresh removable media. We have the hardware manager with everything around. All right, so let's just try to close that one. You have the option to install and remove like software drivers, UPM services, log on, log off, and also user account management, system clock. All right, this is how it looks like. And then we have keyboard. I can choose all your settings from here, the mappings, the timings, special needs, and as well also icons. So let's just try to close that one. Let's go and check the mouse settings. So many settings, guys. Scroll speed, setup, pointers, mappings, timing, different cursors here. All right, this is so cool, by the way. And of course, also icons. So it was really full packed with a lot of features, guys. And this thing, I love it. This is the system. Just take a look at this, right? Like this was so neat to have it back in the days. This was how it was organized. You have your screen settings, the zoom, the multi-head, confirmations, title, window, menu, right? The user interface, the print screen, the logo as well, right? Time, non-indefinite. And of course, there is a more button icon as well, right? So we can just edit all those things from here. Spooler for the printer, add programs. Let's try to click this here. Add or remove programs. If you press OK, this is kind of the waiting path. It's going to search for some programs, then close apparently. We then have also sound. And sound is working, by the way. You can play WAV files. Yeah. And we have also MIDI. I can show this later as well. Then we have the locales from here. The language viewer, let's click this. All right, nothing happened. Then we have the power. Okay, I'm running it on a VM. We have something called WinOS2 setup. So if you click these guys, you can see WinOS2 in a window. Also in a full screen, there are different settings, but this thing can also run Windows program, DOS programs, data exchange, all right, icon as well. Create utility diskettes if you want to get, I guess, like a boot disk or something like this. So select the driver where you want the diskettes to be created. I'm going to press create, and there probably can just write an image of a disk, use it as a bootable image. I'm going to press cancel. Then we have the font palette. All right, you can try to edit it if you want. Then we have the mixed color palette. Like this looks really, some of it really looks like Windows. Then we have the solid color palette and also the sheen palette here. You can see ocean, different themes that you can apply, guys. Logical volume manager, guys. Now this is here all the partitions. So apparently it runs on this hard drive. Again, it's a VDI, it's a virtual machine. But from here, you know, we have boot manager. You can just create partitions, you know, resize format, do whatever you want. This is the TCP/IP configuration. From here, you can manage your standard network settings. All right, so nothing so unseen. And down below, we have a bit more. Let me show you. If I scroll down, we have the DNS configuration, but we do have also the multimedia setup. So system, compact disc 1, 2, we have digital audio here. All right, we have the MIDI digital video player. Now, it's really like full-fledged. I'm not joking here, guys. Now we're through with this. Let me show what we have here. This acts as a start button. So here we have assistant center. So just go information, help index, troubleshooting, information, software updates. Of course, a lot of these things, if not all of those things, they just don't work right now. Like a lot of these resources simply don't exist. But in this build, what I like about this build, when I open this build, guys, all right, let me just try to maximize it. You're gonna see there is a OS2 fact site with a lot of information, and you can just go, it's in Russian, of course, but you can translate it if you want to use so useful resources about OS2. This was the start button. Here I have all the software that I accessed apparently. From here, I'm able to set up a password. From here, I'm going to be able to just search objects. So this is like pretty much the Finder we explored, and the next step, open step. From here, you can decide to log off, log on. This thing is cool, by the way. It will show you right now my hard drive, like a DSpace monitor. But if I click one time, I'm going to show you the power. So maybe you're running on batteries on a laptop. One more click, we show the CPU resources. I think it is kind of a cool implementation. From here, you can see the different trays. This will allow you to add in some USB drives and just access your folders, your whole structure from here if you want. Then we have a button for the printers, another one, the hardware manager, and then from here, guys, it's like, again, the same system menu. These things that I showed you before, you can access it from here as well. And from here, you can start various prompts. So let's say you want to run an OS2 window. All right, so what's this? This is the operating system 2, version 4.2. Do we have help? We do. All right, let's press exit. And we can start also a DOS window. All right, let's check here. This is going to be a DOS window. All right. Anyway, guys, now while we're here on the main screen, let's see what else we have. Here we do have the time, right? And just with a click of a mouse, you know, I can just change the format. And then here, I guess, some kind of like a notification. Down below, this is also good as well. Down below, you can see the HPFS. So apparently, it's the C drive. This is the Z drive. I do believe that I mounted this to my computer. Then you can see your memory, the data again, and then the swap memory. And this is the task that you have right now. When you double click on this, you're gonna get the file manager kill processor. All right. If you don't want this, just close this. And remember, Control Escape will show you all the things we already opened. If I want to go right now in Firefox, I have to click here. And if I want to close Firefox, the best thing to do is just boom, close it from here. Now, if I press Control Escape, Firefox is no longer there. Like all these things anyway right now are open. We can also cycle through some of the programs that are open with Alt and Tab. You can see you can go to the language viewer or to the desktop. As sweet as this, guys. Now, let's see what we have inside. So the first thing I want to show is the programs. So we have some utilities, okay? By the way, Java for OS2. This was a big thing introduced for the OS2 Warp at some point, I guess with version 4. Editor for Java, run Java program. You can run it local. Like Java was a big thing back in the days. All right, then let's just click here on a new program. When you click on a new program, guys, you can probably just create like a shortcut. And also what I like, let me show you something cool, guys. If I am here, I can right click, I can go to properties, and I'll have this properties now on every single window. So let's say that I can go in the background, right? And I don't want this to be white. I want this to be, let's say, this color, right? This is kind of cool because let me show you. If I'm gonna click it, close it right now, I'm gonna open this one. It's gonna be like a standard view with a white background. And if I click the programs, they better be yellow, right? So you can see it's probably not on like the BOS level and the OpenStep, but I think that the OS2 Warp 4.52 at some point really wasn't lagging behind. And again, it was a great OS with a lot of capabilities, full multitasking, and what is very important, a lot of enthusiasts that really used to love this. And this is why even to this day you can find some versions, alternations of OS2 and use it. We have an OS2 system editor. Okay, I guess this is kind of like a notepad. Yeah, operating system. All right, let's type something, save as. You can save it up, I guess. Plain text, OS2 command file, or a DOS command file. Then we have an enhanced editor. Think about like Ultra Edit or something like this. And all right, I can just monofont style. Yep, looks kind of nice and neat. Seek and scan files from here. Icon editor. Okay, yeah, you can just create your own icon if that's your thing. CPU monitor, guys. OS2 SMP monitor. Processor 1. Graph mode, you can also use a line. Bar. Yeah. Status. That's cool. Online options. Change some stuff here. The TCP IP LAN utilities, the software updates, LAN server audit. Okay, error sound. By the way, the other option that is kind of good when you start something and it doesn't work, it's not gonna crash, it's gonna give you some error options. DOS editor. Welcome to the IBM DOS editor. Adobe Type Manager, guys. For the fonts, if you have any, chart them up, I guess. All right, takes some time to load, by the way. This one, very weird. Yep, here it is. Okay, let's try to close this. And then we're in control panel, guys. This is the control panel. It's gonna open and give you these nice settings. So ports, mouse, desktop, keyboard, international driver sound. Let's click on the drivers. The MIDI sequencer, by the way. Sound, all right. IBM Internet connection for OS2. Yeah, I guess none of this works, but it used to work back in the days. Then we have, guys, some games. Now, pay attention. If I press Control and Escape, all of those things, guys, are already open. So at some point, I can tell this is going to be a lot, and I'm not going to be even able to open Firefox if I don't kill something, but I'm going to keep it like this. So we have here Solitaire, 1, 2, and yeah, OS2 chess. And this is how it looks like, by the way, with some nice fancy animation. Let's try to maximize it. All right, you can see 3D here. Okay, let's play with a computer. Yeah, and this is drum roll, how the chess looks like. Let's check also the Solitaire. All right, again, this fancy animation here. It's, by the way, 3D as well. Okay, yeah. 95, not that bad, I think. What do you think? Where is this thing? Didn't even start. Oh, drum roll and Solitaire again. Now, if you've been watching my other videos, specifically one about the Haiku and BOS and OpenStep, see here, guys, if I drag a window around, right, it's not going to display the contents. And this is why it was really huge when this thing worked in OpenStep. Exactly almost the same years around, like Steve Jobs wasn't really joking around. All the others didn't have this, so I can now move the window, but I don't see the content, so it's not like redrawn in real time. Right, volume, compact disc 1, 2, digital audio, MIDI image. Let's click on the image, guys. All right, let's open Art Deco JPEG. I can demonstrate this here as well. See, I'm moving it around. Yeah, apparently not in real time. 24-bit RGB. Let's open a nice beach picture. This is pretty much it. Digital video. Now this was a thing, and let me show you guys, I saw this already and it was kind of impressive. See here. With some nice and fancy music, right? Yeah, sound is working and you can see everything moving around. Control P should be playing the file, but my MIDI is not mapped correctly, but I want to show you something cool. I can click here and apparently choose different instruments, and it will also change the icon here. So this is kind of neat. Then we have Win OS2 groups, and let me show you something cool, guys. If I go inside, yeah, the file manager, I guess you recognize this, right? Like from the early versions of Windows. If I just go and hit About File Manager, yeah, IBM Win OS2 File Manager, this pretty much looks like one of them we used in Windows. And then we have the Win OS2 accessories. Let's go inside. Yes, these icons, right? And if I start the clock here, let's just see. Yeah, it's gonna be this other clock. We have media player. Let's open the media player from here. Yeah, no MCI. The notepad. I mean, we recognize this. When you go here again, it's IBM Windows notepad. Yeah, but I can swear I've seen this somewhere else, right? Remember, like IBM and Microsoft, they did this together to a point where at some point Microsoft said, hey, yeah, you know, like we have our Windows thing now, 95 and 90, we don't really need you anymore, and things just went sideways. Nevertheless, there are a lot of history videos about OS2. Just go and watch them. Okay, let's just close this, guys. I think we have enough of this. Here we have Star Office, guys. Star Office 5.1. And if I start this, you can see Sun Microsystems. This is something cool, by the way. New document, new spreadsheet, presentation. It was pretty much like Excel for this day. So let's just go and try to open the spreadsheet thing. You can see. Let's open a new presentation. All right, empty presentation. The nice sound effects, by the way. New drawing. Let's just see what tools we have for drawing. Okay, object styles. Yeah, like early versions of Visio, I guess. You know, you can create your org charts, the CEO, the CTO, and all kind of things like this. And again, like multi-window support here. So click here to close it. And remember, this is the close button. Now let's explore more things. We have something called the elements. And yeah, this is the periodic table. I think this is kind of cool. And then we have another periodic table, guys, which gets the same information. So then we have an FTP. It's probably an FTP daemon, like an FTP server. What is this? Let's start it. The shareware version of the FTPD has been furnished for your evaluation. And from here, you can pretty much even put up an FTP server if you want. Time 868. All right, time protocol client server. You can synchronize your time with, I guess, some NTPs here. Then we have the normal player, I guess, standard multimedia player. Nitro Basic is here, and Python if you want to code. This was the error message I was telling about. Now, apparently something is not working. The F device is not ready. So, yep, just press here and voila. Nitro Basic and Python are here if you want to code. All right, see, help, yep. Enet Power Server is here if you want to start some internet services from 2005, still here. And now something cool, guys. We have something called the main actor, the sequencer, and the viewer. So if I open the sequencer, yeah, it's apparently a tool that you can use and just as any modern tool, create your own videos. And I guess there is also like a demo there. All right, you can see it's going to load up. I now restarted it just to show you around what is going to happen, guys. Everything you minimize, right, but not close. It's going to be like this. And at some point, you can see, I mean, I just wanted to demonstrate this to show you around like, yes, at some point, guys, you're going to run out of memory. So it's not a good thing to just minimize things. Just remember to always close them. And yes, you can also close this thing here called the warp center. So press Control Escape. And if you go here, right click close, yep, even no warp center. But when you click here, yep, the warp center is always there. All right, let's continue our tour, guys. I showed you the sequencer. We have then the viewer. All right, so apparently you can edit your files. Let's open this one. You can see, yeah, compression, the sound. Can we play it? Yeah, we can. Close this again. Something called SysBenchExe. From here, you have access to various benchmarks, graphics, CPU, all kind of things. All right, memory, disk, and you can pretty much run this if you want, if that's your thing. All right, this is how it looks like. Very useful. We have the file commander, but this one is not what you think. It's a clone of the so famous Northern Commander that lives on right now as Midnight Commander, and it's been ported to, I guess, every OS out there. And here we have the proper file manager, so a light version. All right, and this is kind of like the standard version. All right, guys, let me show you something. This is a folder on my computer, and I mapped it. And from here, I'm going to be able to install something. So in fact, I downloaded something called Classic Games for OS2 Warp, the MicroLearn Star Emperor Rapid Assault. All right, and you know, this is how installation works. I'm going to choose the C drive right now. I'm going to click install, and it's whooping 17 megabytes. But take a look at this animation. I think it's kind of sweet. And the moment the application is installed, like see here, like this is the icon of the application. The moment it's installed in this folder, boom, it goes away and the next one starts. This would be the last one. All right, now that's there. I must shut down and reboot. No, I don't want, so I'm going to close this one. And here it is, by the way. right? I have here all the games that I installed. So let's just start the OS2 Blackjack. Okay, nice. It's a blackjack game. All right, let's close this one. Havoc. Stardock System presents. I don't even know how to play this. My keyboard apparently doesn't work. I'm not sure if the mouse is supposed to work. We do have also an uninstall script if you don't like it. So I can press here, and from here I can uninstall these programs if I don't want them. All right, and of course an OS2 poker. And if you ever plan to use this, here you're going to be able to find all kind of keyboard shortcuts that you can use to just navigate through your windows. Now let's try to explore the interface a bit. I'm inside the OS2 system, and let's say I click with the right button on the warp center, and then I click the create shadow, and I'm able to create a shadow, which is kind of like a shortcut. It's going to be here. So let's say that I can now go and close the warp center, and boom, from here I can open it again. Let's click on a text file and see the properties. So right button here, properties. Something that I like, guys, if I click here, right, you're gonna see I'm able to cycle through all the pages. This page has another 3 sub pages. So plus is page 3, page 2, and then page 1 again. And now I am in the system setup, which doubles as a control panel. And from view, I can go and change the icon view, which is this what you see here, to a tree view, which is kind of cool, I have to admit, right, with all these things down below, to also a detailed view. And you can see there is plenty of information. And because that's a folder, I guess there are some folder related options here. So we can copy, create shadow if you want, also of course move it. So it was really advanced for those days. Now let's go back to the shadows. I have 2 shadows of the warp center. Let's say I don't need this one. I can click, and of course I can as well delete it. All right, and boom, it's gone. So now I have this shadow, guys. This is cool. Right click. All right, so I'm gonna press now original and locate, and it's going to just go to the original icon, which is not only cool but handy. Now let's check the window management. I have 2 windows opened. It's pretty standard, by the way. Everything that you expect to work works, like resizing, moving it around again with no context in real time, like in, for example, open step, next step. Something that is cool when I'm inside a window and I press Shift and Escape, we have this menu. So from here you can also see like Alt F7 move, Alt F8 is the size, maximize, height. So let's say Alt F10, it's going to be maximize, all right? Alt F7 is move. Now without holding the mouse button, just moving the mouse will move the window. Alt F11 is hide, and Alt F4 is close. So let's just click Alt F4 and close it. And you see we have this nice closing animation. Now again, this is a bit weird, like this is the maximize, minimize button, all right? This thing is also somehow minimize the whole window. And if you want to go back, Control Escape, and then this thing is the termination of a window. Or Shift Escape, and then you're going to be able to check all the options. But we have really a lot of things. The view that I showed you, like tree and details. We have sorting options, auto arrange, creating of a shadow, moving it around. Create another. So we can create another folder here. Like let's just call it test. And voila, now we're gonna have a test folder. Something I don't like too much, if I select the folder, all right, let's say the test one I created, and I just hold it and try to drag it, now it's not gonna work. I have to right click, I have to click the pickup here, then click here, right button, and then put drop. This is not the best. Also, of course, I have the option to lock it. So now even if I just pick it up and try to put it here, try to drop it, it's not gonna work. Again, an interesting concept for managing folders. I'll just prefer to have a drag and drop. And last but not least, let me show you something cool. If I click here on the Warp Center taskbar, right, the start button, if I go to programs, guys, remember we had all this Windows thingy. Here we do have also the program manager. And this is, yeah, it's familiar, right? File manager, control panel, let's click it, right? So it seems that at some point this was also implemented inside with the clipboard viewer, with the print manager, and I mean these icons, I think that yeah, the older people remember those icons, the file manager and the control panel. This was my tour on the OS2 Warp 4.5.2, guys. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. Again, just go and check the history behind OS2 and IBM and Microsoft. It's just something that I believe tech nerds, and probably not only tech nerds, will enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, VST over, and bye.